And I'm going to draw the first card for you, Capricorn, for the month of February. And it is. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this comes up. Okay, I'm going to say it sort of came up upside down, but I'm not sure the way I turned it. It's the Hermit.
Oh, all right.
And I feel like it's a little bit, I drew it and then I sort of put it back and drew it again. I don't know. I feel like it should be in the upright.
You think so?
Yeah,
oh.
I do.
Yeah. All right.
So
all right.
We'll
go with
Hermit. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's still, you know, continuation of last month because we had the Hierophant in this position. So this card would represent, well, I see it as God. It's the God card. It's a, you know, big compliment from Spirit that you're on the right path, the right spiritual path. Perhaps you should, you know, further your study. And, you know, this month, because you could become a spiritual teacher, a spiritual leader, and maybe that's sort of in the stars for you this year, in the year of 2015. That's what I see here. Ave, what do you see?
Well, given the last month, that fire at the end, that energy to take the project, to take the whatever it is that task across the line, the finish line, all that fire, all that energy, well, it naturally should be followed by a respite from that, where you take time to reflect, and you basically needed a break, and you need consequently to be quiet by yourself, to become peaceful again inside, to bring down the energy, because the energy was so high. Just bring it back and calm down and become again more centered and reflective. So that's what I see, Trudy.
I also see drawing from your gurus here. You know, I mean, maybe you have someone in your past, a teacher, who you may want to sort of hearken back to, listen to. Maybe it's your foundation. And the reason I bring that up is we had the Hierophant once again in this position. So it feels like your spiritual background actually may take center stage while you, as Ava said, step away and take a break. You know, it's not just a break; it's a spiritual break.
Yeah, for some. For some.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Yes, we can only hope, but
don't just lay around and, you know, eat ice cream and watch Netflix.
But
actually read some spiritual literature.
Yes, I might add, parenthetically, that it could also be celibacy, which is what the card often means, you know.
Oh, that's a rotten thing.
It is the opposite of the Ace of Wands. It is the celibate card. So withdrawing from sex too, because often that is can be a very draining experience for people.
All right, Ava, now you're bumming everyone out. I'd say maybe 1% of the population will be happy with that interpretation.
Because it is true. It's not what it's all cracked up.
Could just be for a couple days, because remember, this is the month of love. Okay.
Oh, don't be like that. It could be for as long as they want it to be.
Well, some of them probably do, but
yes. Well, it's recommended often. You know, in yoga, a sexual fast is often recommended as a healing remedy for many psychological ailments. That's the truth. Anyway.
And there you go. Thank you, Ava.
Oh,
you got me all nervous over here. Okay, So, all right, that's the Hermit. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. All right, let's go to the second card in the position of the unexpected. No, no, no. I'm sorry. In the position of challenge. What is your challenge this month?
Right.
Capricorn.
I really threw you with that last comment, didn't I?
It is the moon inverted. I'm ignoring her. It is the moon inverted.
All right.
Okay, in the position of challenge. And okay, so this is kind of an interesting card to pop up in the inverse in the position of challenge. You know, because Ava and I will often say when a card comes up inverted, that can mean either a delay in the effects of that card, or it can also point to a magnification of the card, and especially in the challenge position. I could see that this could be a magnification. So your challenge could be that you're feeling a little bit moody, okay? And I'm going to go with a little bit moody because it is in the inverse, and you know, it's sort of like it goes along with this Hermit because this is sort of a pulling it all back in kind of card. You know, it's like a retiring. That's what we do in the evening. You know, and you may be challenged to do that, to sort of pull back and not sort of, you know, like happen upon the world, you know, because that's kind of what was happening last month. We had that Ten of Wands in the last position, so you know, it's kind of the opposite of that, where you you kind of go back home, you know, you go start a fire, you know, it's nice and it's chilly outside, so you know, it's a time to retire, and after all the activity of last month, that might be a bit of a challenge, but it looks as if that's kind of what's called for, what Spirit is calling for you to actually kind of hibernate like a bear is kind of what I see. For our little goats out there, I see some bear action going on. Take it away, Ava.
All right. Well, if we say took a single scenario, as for instance, someone has just gotten married because of the Hierophant in the last month. Well, can you imagine then, of course, they embark upon their new life. They need a little bit of a break. That's what a honeymoon is about. It's sort of like the Hermit, sort of a scheduled Hermit period. But then right after that, we've got challenge, and this is the moon reversed, which is, it could be a fear about setting out on a new journey. Fear about what that, because the moon reversed is fear. So it could very well be about fear about what happened, you know, to launch you into this whole new, perhaps, structure, like the Hierophant would be also like the structure of marriage, the new demands of this environment that you are now a part of. So maybe it's a deep fear of that, and that would be your challenge, is to overcome that fear and just to go and do it. So that's my take on it, Miss Trudy.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. And my take is it's a benign challenge to like go home and roast marshmallows.
That's right. There are two of us, Trudy.
Yes. Okay. So now, in the third position, all right, in the position of the unexpected, we have a major arcana card. It's a really great card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. And it's a great card for Capricorn for the month of February. It is the Magician.
Oh my.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
That's an interesting card. I mean, I really think this whole, like, you know, rest and recuperation, hibernation thing is really going to pay off for you.
Yeah.
Because once you're able to sort of gather your resources, you know, and sort of take a break, suddenly you're able to manifest just about anything unexpectedly this month that you would like to manifest. And it is in the upright, which tells me that, you know, this is done for the good of all, right? This manifestation, you know, it's all, you know, looking at this hermit, you know, that comes forward. I mean, spending that time at the beginning of the month, you know, in deep reflection, sort of, you know, reflecting upon where you want to go, and, you know, it's even deeper than that, though, because it's about leading others, I guess. So, you know, spending that time and really, you know, sort of retreating even in the month of February, it seems to pay off, because mid-month, unexpectedly, you know, you're able to, like, create these things out of nothing, you know. You know, it's great energy, you're using all of your talents, you're in full control of your emotions and your thoughts and your money and, you know, your energy. I mean, you just kind of pull it all together, and you're kind of like the total package, you know what I mean? So I suggest hibernation early in the month, because you'll be the, like, you'll be the bomb, the total package, you know, unexpectedly mid-month. It's really going to pay off. Now I'm going to move over to Miss Ava.
Well, yes, it's unexpected. Okay, so there you were, conquering your fears, going within, calming and peaceful, becoming peaceful in your mind and in your soul. And unexpectedly, what this produces is willpower, which is what the card is really. That's the core of the card is willpower. It's a masculine card. It's the opposite of the High Priestess, who relies on her intuition. This is suddenly, unexpectedly, out of that calmness, out of that quietness, out of that conquering of your fear, you take action. You become focused and concentrated. You become motivated. You make an extraordinary impact on your environment, whatever that environment might be. So you come out of it, and it's almost like waking up from a sleep, and then zoom, you take off. And you really have all the tools. That's what the magician has, every aspect of what's necessary within themselves to create the outcome that they want. So is this not a wonderful situation for our dear Capricorns? Go, take it away, Trudy.
Faux show, my tarot correspondent. Faux show. Well, I just want to say, you open the month with Gandhi. You are, yes. Gandhi. And then unexpectedly mid-month, you're Houdini.
That's right. Yes, I wonder how they're going to end the month.
Well, we shall tell you at this moment how you guys end the month. Okay, Ava, I'm going to have you go on this one, because
all right,
you get to go first.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the Hangman reversed.
Oh,
Which is kind of cool because it's time for action. I mean, I guess in the positive, but I have a few thoughts on this, but I'm going to have you go first because, just because. Go first.
Well,
unless you want me to.
No, it's, it stumps me a little bit sometimes because of the energy that we've been feeling during the month, and how in the world could this, you know what it is. It just hit me.
It's a roadblock.
No. You may have to, in some way, be the sacrificial lamb in something.
Well, it's reversed.
Reversed, yeah. Not that you're sacrificing, but that you're the sacrificial lamb, or somehow you have to take on the burden of the situation, and this is a hard lesson because there's an aspect apparently to this previous unexpected energy that has a bit of self-sacrificing involved with it, where you literally have to give up something to get something else. So you feel sacrificial. That's how I feel it, but let me think about it some more. Would you, Trudy, and then you can speak on it.
Yes, okay. Well, I see this as being a bit stubborn in your position, or myopic even. And I don't know, it's kind of coming out of nowhere, but there's like, that's why I said it's a roadblock. It's kind of like you're not willing to really kind of look at things from all angles, and it's I see this card as a bit of a warning because it's usually the card of the student. Now, if it were in the upright, I would say great card of the student. You get your eyes wide open, and you're taking it all in, and you're processing. But for some reason, at the end of the month, you're kind of seeing things the way, or you doing things the way you ordinarily have done things.
Well, Trudy, I just had a thought.
Okay.
All right.
Well, to me, it says you're not teachable. That's what I see here, that you're not, at the end of the month, there's something that you need to sort of assimilate, and there's just one area where you're kind of stuck, and I don't know, because I see this hermit, and the hermit's a teacher, right?
Well, Trudy,
so I feel like there's this, like, you're not as teachable as you could be. That's how I see it. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
All right. No. I'm going to take a completely different stance. Even what I said before, I'm kind of having because you read the card in isolation, and that's what it means, in isolation. But when you see this card in relationship to the flow of energy that precedes it with the cards, it can't be that. It seems to me that in reverse, there's almost like the barriers are down, because in upright is where there are barriers. When this card is upright, that's when sacrifices need to take place. That's when you need, to see things from a completely new perspective. This is sort of like the challenge of it. But when it's reversed, it's almost as if you're given a green light, and those sacrifices have already been made. and you are now in free flow. And to me, it has to be that, because the energy of the month in itself is describing a kind of flow of action, a story unfolding for us. And it makes no sense to have this kind of barrier or obstacle at the end when you have all this freedom of movement, freedom of action almost coming at you. I mean, you've done your internal work. You've conquered your fear. You've found your will and your internal resources. And at the end, it's almost like the new perspective that you gain is allowed you to open the door and flow right through. That's how I see it. But I think we should ask them to give us some feedback on this.
Right, exactly. Let's see, we have 17 viewers, so you guys comment and tell us what you think.
Well,
the way I see it, the way I see this card is that the way I see this card, Ava, is that I see it similar but a little bit different, you know. Or another possibility could be that you know, the month starts out with this great hermit, and it seems as if, you know, we're sort of in this, you know, like it or not, you know, so we're sort of reevaluating spiritual things. And that was going on last month. And it may have started actually in a more orthodox way, but this month we're, you know, we're sort of going off on our own, and we're, you know, reevaluating. That's sort of how I see it. And the reason I bring that up is that, you know, the moon inverted just kind of tells me that, you know, you're trying to decide, you know, what is illusion and what is reality, okay? You know, because, you know, when we're studying spirituality, religion, and all that type of thing, I mean, a lot of it, you know, you sort of have to pull things apart, and you know, you take the book and you just sort of highlight the parts that you resonate with, and you take that in, you take the next book, and you do the same thing. So that's kind of how I see that card. And then, you know, there's this assimilation, you know, with the magician, you know, where you're actually able to utilize some of that teaching and what you have learned to manifest certain things. But to me, this is the card of the student. And, you know, that's how I see it. I think there could be some issues that you're having a hard time with, you know, some not issues, but some teachings, I guess, that you might be like, you know, maybe you're on the fence right now, and maybe you're not quite ready to give up some of the tradition, some of the value systems and that kind of thing. But it's kind of, to me, this whole thing is about an awakening, a spiritual awakening, and the ability to manifest, you know, well, spiritual power, you know, basically. And, you know, I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here. We're kind of, you know, manifesting our gifts for you out there, and so that's how I see it. Similar.
Well, I think that those two perspectives are have a kind of a nice wide arc under which people could glean from it what is you know, most likely to resonate with themselves. And it would be interesting to find out near the end of the month through your emails what has happened.
What's happening in your life, right? Yeah. No, it's actually very similar, but it is a totally spiritual month.
Oh, it is. It is.
I mean, that's you know, let's just go with that, because this is a month beyond all months. So, you know, it's really, really cool.
Yes, and as we said, everybody experiences spirituality in different ways, you know?
Absolutely. So the month of love is actually the month of God love. What do you call it? Agape, right?
Agape, yes.
It's agape. Okay, so we're going to read a fifth card.
Yeah. What could it be?
Ava, I'm going to tell Ava what it is. It is the world reversed. Now,
Oh,
I'm just gonna say that this is not a surprise. I think this makes sense. I mean, actually, after the hangman reversed, because trying to get if we're going to read about love, basically, it's trying. Well, it's the last card in the major arcana. Okay, so you're about to graduate, matriculate. Okay, let's start with that. And if this is about romantic love, I mean, this is like a major sort of, I don't know, reimagination of the love affair. Okay. And also it speaks to the individual. So if this is you, you have sort of gone through something and it's changed you, okay? But there's a bit of a delay here in terms of you becoming, okay? Because Ava and I have talked about this in this card, like it's like rebirth, okay? So you're about to be reborn, and it is in the inverse. And so we could say, if it were about you, you're about to become, you're going into the next incarnation of who you are. But if it's about the relationship, it could mean that the relationship needs to sort of, together you need to be reborn. And there's a bit of delay in that. Now, what does reborn mean? I mean, you could take it as literally as born again, there needs to be some sort of ecstatic sort of change that you experience together. It's kind of like the, how do you get that sort of recipe going, maybe a vacation together, but some experience that you can share which will allow you to return as, a new couple, I guess. I could go on and on about this card. We also call it the vagina card, so maybe you're ready to give birth and you're late. That could be it as well. Actually, we've already switched over to you, Ava.
all right. Oh, this is an excellent, excellent, excellent card. It doesn't matter that it's reversed. There are powerful cards that even in the reverse, it doesn't mean anything really negative. This is the most powerful card in the entire deck, the world. So all it could mean is several things, actually. You could succeed at whatever it is that you wanted to accomplish. You reach your goal, you cross it, and maybe you're a little disillusioned. Maybe it's not as good as you expected. That getting there, it doesn't have the rewards that you thought it might have. The other thing about the world reversed is that there's a fear of success too, a fear of actually achieving it. That's why it's reversed, so that there's this trepidation about, well, can I handle all the responsibilities that might incur from being successful at whatever I'm doing, or there might be sort of like you're over it, like an anticlimax. Is that all there is? Kind of feeling also about this in reverse. And also, it could be that regardless of the fact that you've succeeded, there's so many more challenges in front of you that it maybe doesn't even feel like you've done it, you've completed it, because there's still more to be done. So all of those things are possibilities for this card in reverse. So you can apply it then to your circumstance at home and see which one of those possibilities fits in with what you're experiencing. So there you go, Trudy.
Well, I also wanted to mention with this card that one of my mentors, he's not dead though, this one, he's still alive. He always tells me not to be afraid to be happy. And I don't know why that comes up with this card, because it is the world. And it really doesn't get much better than that, but we have it in the inverse. So don't be afraid to be happy. If you have the world, enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. Sometimes we're afraid to be happy, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. That's a possibility.
What?
Say what? That certainly is a possibility too, Trudy. Yes.
Say what, Ava? You didn't think I could tease you from like?
No, I thought you had to be proximate to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us for your February reading, Capricorn. And if you would like a private reading, Ava and I would.
Oh no, we have one more card, Trudy.
No, we don't. We just did the. What's that?
The love card.
No, that was the love card.
Oh, it was the love card.
Yeah, you read it.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that I was reading the love card.
Okay, so why don't you talk about private readings?
Well, isn't that odd? Because if we really discuss this in the terms of a love reading, it still is extremely applicable that way, because you can succeed in a relationship and still be unfulfilled by it, and unfulfilled because of the success of it, because you've achieved it, and consequently you feel either that there's more work to be done and you're sort of disappointed in it, or you're disappointed, well, is this all there is to the relationship? And even though it is what I wanted. So it's very interesting. We have, I think it was 6 or 7 readings that we offered to our fans, and they run anywhere from the gamut of personal, private readings about your love life, about things that are intimate and matter to you on a deep level, to inquiries about your new career, or your new workspace, or are you going to move? Are you not going to move? What is your purpose in life? I mean, it can be as broad as that. And the tarot is extraordinary in its ability to treat both the trivial questions, the smaller questions in your life, and also the very large ones, and to address it in a very intelligent and in a very matter-of-fact way, to give you the kind of guidance that you can't get in your life because you're too close up front to it. So those are the reasons that you might want to get a reading from us at virtualtarot.wordpress.com. Oh my God! Yes.
Is it backwards?
I don't. Hold it up. Hold it up. Higher. I can read it. Yes. Oh, are we ever high tech here at Virtual Tarot?
So that's where you go, and if you would like to subscribe to a council card, every month we read additionally on this 4-card spread. So if you're curious about what Spirit has to say, additional information from Spirit, we read one major arcana card for every 4-card spread. It's a 20-minute audio file, and it's a higher spiritual perspective on your reading. And so just click the link below, and it'll pop right up, and you can subscribe. Ava, anything else for our beautiful Capricorns?
Oh, for our Capricorns? Oh gosh, you've got a fabulous month. I actually envy. This is a beautiful month. The energy is perfect. You really come to some sort of crescendo at the end. So it's enjoy it, and thank you very much for tuning in to Virtual Tarot, and come back again next month.
It's so funny because I can see people walking out the door. Like they're probably trying to leave before the other subscribers so that they can beat the traffic jam, you know?
Oh my God!
But we wanted to mention that we are probably going to do this next month too, because people have been giving us a lot of positive feedback. So we'll let you know when, so you guys can join us live. Because I think live, you know, you guys kind of jive with live, right? So we're going to do that, and I guess we're going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, bye Capricorn. Thanks a lot for joining us. Woohoo!
Woo!